How's it going, guys? Right, this week I was actually down in London for the weekend, so didn't get to go to my usual car boot sale haunts, but I want to show you a few bits and bobs I picked up from a little car boot sale in London, and also a few pickups I got while I was in London, and just a few other odds and sods I picked up along the way over the last sort of week or so. Also, just before we get going, I want to say a really big thank you to all my new subscribers and all my original subscribers. Hitting nearly 650 people now, so that's really cool. I hope you guys are still enjoying the channel and what I'm putting up. Again, I've been pretty busy with work and stuff at the minute, so I've not had a lot of time to do a lot of videos at the moment, but I'm still trundling them out, getting close to that 100th video as well soon. Right, so let's get on with some pickups. Right, we'll start with the London car boot sale. So let's see what London's got to offer. A lot of Game Boys basically is what has gone down in London. So let's just go with a massive Game Boy action that I managed to pick up. 3, I've got another one as well. Right, so we'll start with this one. The LMP Gamester video game accessory leatherette pouch, absolutely freaking hideous. Is an awful piece of kit. This will, after this video, will probably definitely be going in a bin. But inside there was a Game Boy, which is cool, original Game Boy, in pretty good condition to be honest, and still came with the original instructions as well there, and that was only £1. So I couldn't really, well, it was £1.50, but the lady didn't have any change, so she took £1 for it. So that was awesome for £1, even with the pleatherette wallet. Ew. Right, next then, got a Game Boy Advance, in a Game Boy Advance case there, with lovely shoulder attachment there. So original Game Boy Advance. So not the greatest screen. It's got a couple of little minor marks on it, but still not in bad condition, the actual unit. And that one came with 2 games. The main reason why I got this, I really wanted Mario Kart Super Circuit. I heard really good things about that. Never actually had a go on it, so really, really want to get it just for my Game Boys. And Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2. So those 2 were there. This also came with a 87-in-1 cart for the original Game Boy or stroke Game Boy Color. Now I've had a look at this, and usually with these kind of carts you get like 2 games and then they're all like the same ones over and over and over again. This actually seems to have about 40 games pretty much times 2, so actually a really quite good multi in one cart. So that was kind of cool. So I got those, that, and also got, I'll come back to a game, well, actually no, let's show you now. The lady had this for sale, and I was like, oh yes, we'll definitely have that. So I got Rival Schools on the PlayStation. Now this is a pretty rare title. Goes for easily sort of £20 on sort of eBay. Pretty hard to get hold of, with the instructions, all the disc and everything in there. Case is a little bit cracked, but apart from that, all good. So she did that for £1, which was awesome. So well happy to get hold of that, and I'll come back to that in a bit later. So all in all, everything was £10. So the Game Boy, the Ujimaflop cartridge, 2 games, and also got some books as well. So all in that. So that was pretty sweet for that, especially London prices. Next up then was this is a really nice Game Boy SP. So a little Competition Pro, this leatherette, but better quality leatherette pouch with waist adapter. Now this guy inside here, ooh, this is absolutely mint. Now usually with SPs they always get knackered on the outside, but the screen is really good. This is literally like virtually out the box condition. Severely mint. All good there. As I said, all working. That with the case was £5. No charger, but I've got a spare charger and stuff. I don't have a silver one. As I said, they really don't come any better condition than that. That was a real result on that one. And my last Game Boy purchase I made was an original Game Boy ASCIIWare portable Carry All Deluxe. Now I never actually had one of these as a kid. I've really wanted one of these cases for quite a while, so managed to bag this for £5, and inside as well is loaded full of goodies. So you get literally the whole sort of Game Boy setup there. Another original Game Boy. We've got a magnifier there, instruction booklet for Tetris. You also have all your storage for games and bits and bobs in there. This all came with a link cable, and also I don't have one of these. The 4-player adapter as well was chucked in there, and I think there's also a rechargeable battery pack in there. So I only really wanted it for the case, but to have all that lot chucked inside was a damn good little find. Right, moving on then. So that's all the Game Boy stuff I got. Next up, let's have a few little random items. Managed to pick up some turtles. This is from a car boot sale a couple of weeks ago. So a couple of classy porcelain turtles. Again, I collect turtles and 90s stuff as well, so they were kind of cool. They were, I think, £1 each. That was cool. And also another little random find was these guys, which is a load of mini kind of like Sonic the Hedgehog figurines. So loads of different sort of like characters and bad guys from the Sonic games. You got a little Robotnik there, and little Sonic, little Tails, little Ladybug, Driller Guy, don't know what that is, and I'm not quite sure what that one is either. But anyway, so I got those. They were £2, so I was quite happy with that for a sort of a complete little set. Right, what else did I pick up? Picked up PlayStation 2 Capcom Classics Collection Volume 2. Now this was £1, and it's got some stonking games on it. It really has. 1941, Avengers, Black Tiger, Block Block, Captain Commando, which is genius game. Echo Fighters, Knights of the Round, again wicked game. The King and Dragons, Last Duel, Mega Twins, Magic Sword, Quiz and Dragons, Sidearms, awesome. The Speed Rumbler, Street Fighter 2 Turbo, Strider, awesome. Three Wonders, Tiger Road, great game, and Varth. So all of those lot for £1. So some wicked titles and conversions there on the PlayStation 2. So well happy to get that in the old collection. Next up, something I picked up a couple of weeks ago, but I'll show you now because I've got it at hand. Was a Sega Saturn I picked up. So a Saturn, didn't have any controllers, but I got spares. So it came with a power supply and the AB cable. It also came with Sega World Soccer 98 boxed, True Pinball boxed, Loaded boxed, Bobble and Rainbow Islands as well on there, boxed up, Virtua Fighter 2, Sega World Cup 97, Thunderhawk 2, Clockwork Knight, really happy to get that one in the collection, and Tomb Raider as well. So I got all that lot there. That was the deal I got for £4. So that was an absolute steal for £4, I think, for Saturn and all those games. Next up then, let's go with some stuff from Landon. Oh, another one I picked up from a car boot, so this was cool. A Xbox 360 remote control, still boxed up and sealed. Came with the batteries, and it also came with 3 months Xbox Live voucher, which was not scratched off, and that was £1. So you know, it's like 15 quid's worth of Xbox Live, you know, time there for, you know, for £1. So that was well cool to get hold of that. Next up then, right, some stuff I got from Cash Converters, or as they say, crack converters in Leicester, because it is literally crack converters. Now, crack converters in Leicester is horrible, and there's literally never really any ever good stuff. The one in London I went to was amazing. Things like Centurions figures and old Transformers and some really cool stuff. Now, a few bits I picked up from there. I got a box Namco. I'm going to say this definitely wrong, is Ni G-Con controller. Now I've got one of these already, so I definitely want the second one. Real cool, and these are awesome for like old games. So like if you put any like retro classics in there, really wicked for that. Also use these for like Ridge Racer, and you can steer by twisting it left and right. It's really weird steering, but it is actually a really comfy and very cool you know, controller. So that was £4 boxed, which I thought was a bargain, especially to find one boxed. And instead it's got the instructions and everything in there as well. Another little crazy tip I went for was Dangerous Hunts 2011 on Xbox 360, and this came with the Top Shop Elite hunting sort of gun as well. I am a sucker for light gun games, as you probably guessed by now. So yeah, not got one for the Xbox 360. It's pump action. You got a little red scope there as well. That was pretty sweet. Real nice gun actually, and the game itself is quite hilarious. You just you can either play hunting modes or you just go mental, where the animals just attack you. So you have to fight off things like, yeah, bears, lions, leopards, bulls, rhinos, everything with your Top Shot Elite. That was £20 with the gun and the game, so that was quite a good deal, I thought. And this still, you know, was going for about sort of £30–40 to pick it up on eBay and stuff. So admittedly I did have to carry home a Top Shop Elite on the side of my rucksack, but that was quite funny to the police did check me out while I was going through the train station, because yes, I had a gun strapped to the side of my bag, but yeah, I think they let me go. Saw the true power of the Top Shot Elite there. Right, next then, a few other bits and bobs. Right, managed to pick up a sealed brand new copy of Street Fighter Alpha Anthology on PlayStation 2. Really wicked collection of all the Street Fighters. Alpha 2, 2 Plus, Alpha 3, and the one I really actually wanted it for was Super Gem Fighter or Puzzle Fighter. So that was £10 for that one, from a local shop they go to, which I still didn't think was too bad considering it's brand new. So that was cool. Managed to pick up Godzilla, Destroy All Monsters Melee on the Nintendo GameCube. I'm a sucker for Godzilla games. This is 1 to 4 players simultaneous, rip-roaring monster action. This was only £1. I do really like that whenever a game system seems to come out, definitely on the any sort of Nintendo products, they always seem to bring out some sort of Ultraman stroke Godzilla game, which are usually always awful, but I'm glad they still do it, and they still port them all the way from Japan to here. So Godzilla for £1, pretty sweet. Right, a couple of Dreamcast pickups for my collection. Got a really mint copy of Capcom vs SNK. So, disc is in the back, hopefully. Yeah, disc is there, instructions and everything. The actual case isn't broken or cracked, which is remarkable, and it's still nice and shiny. Picked that up for £10, so I was happy for that, for a decent copy of that. Now, Rival Schools that I got earlier on. So, again, wicked game, worth a bit of dough. Now, I managed to find a copy of Project Justice Rival Schools 2 on the Dreamcast. Now this baby is pretty damn rare. Usually price tag to pick a copy of this up is going to cost you about £50 or £60 on the Dreamcast. Now they actually had it in the shop for £30, and I managed to haggle them down a couple of quid because they got a broken case and stuff, so I managed to get it for £28, which I thought was a really good deal actually. So and again, quite a rare game, and I've not actually played it yet, but I'm really looking forward to actually having a go on this. As I said, the first one's cool, so I'm sure the second one's going to be even better on the Dreamcast. So that was a decent, quite rare find to get on the Dreamcast, and especially from a local shop. Right, lastly then, or a few things, is this baby, my Neo Geo arcade stick. I didn't buy this, well I did bought it ages ago. I'm actually going to donate this to a fellow YouTuber. It's Chris, Wicked Clown NZ. Now he just got an AES all the way down under, and he got it for £20, or $20, which is just crazy. But he doesn't got any controllers, so I've got spare controllers. I've got 3 Neo Geos, and I don't need all these controllers, to be honest. And I just like the pads rather than the stick. So I'm going to send this all the way down under. So Chris, if you're watching, this baby's on its way to you. So showing a little bit of community spirit there on the tube. And lastly, this weekend I'm going to be going down to Game Link in Spalding, hopefully. They're doing a load of sort of I forget, it's like secret agent kind of missions where they're trying to beat a load of world records on a load of video games for high scores and stuff. I'm not competing, but I definitely want to go down and have a look. Although I've got to look after a friend's bulldog puppy for a week. So if I'm coming down on Saturday, I may have a bulldog with me, possibly. I'm not quite sure yet, but we'll have to see. So if you guys are heading down to Game Link, let me know. Put your comments below. That's about it then. So thanks a lot for watching, guys, and I will catch you in the week, or probably actually won't in the week, but I'll catch you probably over the weekend when I put up some footage of Game Link if I get down there. Alright guys, thanks again for watching, and I'll catch you soon with some more reviews.
That's it, man. Game over, man. It's game over.